Definitely, man. Again, appreciate you guys and all your takes. Okay, topic 2. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward. Why are non-black women getting more high successful men than black women? Are they playing the dating game better? B-Mac, start with you.
That's a false narrative. 6-figure earners in America, black men, 80% of them are still dating black women.
Okay.
That's factual statistic. So that's why I said earlier, the media has conditioned us to think a certain way.
Yeah.
As to how we're really dealing with each other. Over 80% of the black community is still dating black people or married to black people. So while we're heavily impoverished as far as the 1 out of every certain black person is still living in poverty, we are still heavy in that. I think we're probably top 2 in the country in that. The ones that are successful are still dating black women. And me, I grew up with a very successful father who, made 7 figures. My mom is black. My dad also was born during the civil rights movement, and so was my mom. So in that era, still, most of those people are still dating black women, the men.
Yeah.
Now, when you start getting into the guys or the men that were born in the 80s and 90s, maybe even the 70s, it starts to switch up.
You're talking three different generations. The X, Generation X, your parents, my parents.
Right.
They tend to they stuck together.
Right.
Millennials, it's 50-50.
Right.
Here nor there. Gen Z, it's free game.
Free game.
Everybody's
literally.
Everybody, continue your point.
Yeah. And so I was always encouraged, growing up, black women. And so, like my younger brother.
Yeah.
I personally, and I don't think he minds me saying this, I personally don't think he's going to bring home a black woman. But my brother also went to predominantly white private schools his entire life. I was different.
Might be a little switcheroo.
No.
You never know.
No. I know my brother. No. He's gonna have his own thing. So I think background, like we talked about black men, like they date white girls because they grew up maybe with all black girls, thinking angry, have their own stereotypes, this, that, and the third. They get to the other side and say, oh, I'm gonna get me a white girl. They're easier to deal with, right? But on the other hand, for me, I grew up around the white girls, and I still, in my single life, was not gravitating towards them like that. That just wasn't me. So background has a lot to do with it. But I got to reverse the question to you.
Let's get it.
So what about you? Well, how do you feel? You said you laid it out there. You laid the topic out there. So after what I just said, what are your thoughts?
I agree. I think, at first I was like, Then when you said false, I was like, and then you broke it down. I was like, yeah, like you're absolutely right. Because I know the statistics back what you say.
Right.
It's the narrative. It's the media. Because what you're saying your rappers, your entertainers, your celebrities.
Yeah.
Media is painting this picture like, hey, white is right, like, or just bright.
They're the ones in front of the camera, so it's easy to say that.
Exactly. But behind the scenes, when you look at the majority, it is, everybody's sticking with one another.
Yeah.
Secondly, I like Christine's point that she made in the earlier topic about they are training their girls to go after these men. They are training their girls to go after black men. Because let's be real, black men, black athletes, easy target.
Oh yeah,
easy target. When you coming from, poverty. When you coming from a poor environment, hood, whatever, and you're, for the first time in your life, you're seeing some actual real money, and you now have access to all these women. Because at first you just had access to black women.
So now one type. Now you got
now you got all flavors of the field. You got all flavors of ice cream. And how can you, as a woman, how can you expect a black man? Because again, it's hard enough for a man to stay monogamous. So
I can't shake my head on that.
So, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Almost did.
Let's keep it real now. It's hard for us.
I'm good, baby. We straight.
It's hard for us to do that. So now you're asking a man who is now in that 0.000 percentile, who's making this money, who's known, who's in this different tax bracket. Now he has access to all these new different women. These women are chasing these guys. It's free game now because y'all want them. Guess what? This whole sea of women want them too.
just one thing.
Yeah.
It's not just white women, though. I have a point blank story. There are girls who even grow up with these men who their parents are like, oh, he's a star athlete in high school.
Yeah.
I need you to go after him.
Oh no, I said all flavors.
Black women do it.
Black
too.
women too. Okay, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's there too.
For fact.
But in my defense, like when we said why are non-black women, that's why I was saying, but nah, I'm sure it happens on our side as well too, unfortunately. But that's just reality.
Yeah.
So, Roya, why are non-black women getting more high successful men than black women? At least what the media portrays, the false narrative. Are they playing the game better? Your thoughts?
Honestly, I feel like that has a lot to do with like what you said about knowing a man's mindset. You know, some women are too headstrong and too dominant and too independent to where it can run a dominant, independent, headstrong man away. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know. I just really feel like that's a good question because, like Brandon said, you know, it's basically a false narrative. So it's kind of like, ooh, I don't really know. I really don't know.
Well, I'm gonna help you out, B-Mac. Now on that statement, you said the false narrative. Is that with us as a whole, or are you saying that with the high earners?
High earners and as us as a whole.
So you're saying even high earners are still dating more black?
High, low, medium, it's a false narrative. Black men who are six-figure or higher earners are still dating black women.
They're just not in the media.
Dating or
They're just not in the media.
They're just not in the media.
I mean, that's
why I said earlier when I said that the ones that are like the $1 million actors, you know, they're in the camera, they're right in front, so it's easy to take a picture of them, float 7 of them together, and say, oh, they're just dating white girls. I have known black women, not even just black women, but the black community to exaggerate certain things.
Sure.
We exaggerate certain things based off of our feelings, not off of facts.
Christine, what you got?
So I do agree with Brandon. You know, B-Mac. I definitely do agree with him because it is a false narrative in a sense because if you just look at a lot of black athletes, they are still marrying black women. Some still might date, and that's the other conversation because you have to think about, are they dating black women or are they marrying black women? You know, that is the real question, you know, but the majority of them are still marrying black women. You know, some of them say, oh yeah, I'm gonna play around with, you know, I'm gonna dabble here and there, but I'm always gonna come back and marry a black woman. That's
hear that a lot.
Yes, exactly. And it sounds cool, but then it still makes us like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Because so now you're done playing games, but you didn't have to play games all those years. We could have been building all those years, type thing. So
you guys. I mean, look, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but you gotta let men go through their process too.
But let us go through a process. We a hoe.